Hi, welcome to our podcast. We're the guys from the Later Word Ik podcast, and we're joined today by Charlotte. She has her own podcast, the It's Okay podcast, and today we're recording a new episode.
Yeah, it's really exciting. Thank you that I can be here. We have another special guest with us called Weronika, and she used to be a professional snowboarder, and now she's working on a triathlon and modeling as well. So that's really exciting. We just wanted to invite her to tell her story because it's really interesting. So yeah, welcome.
Thank you very much, guys, for inviting me. It's actually making my dreams come true because I always wanted to be in podcast, and it was on my to-do list in life. So in general.
Now you're on the best
So
podcast
thank
ever.
you.
Just the biggest podcast here in Maastricht.
The biggest in Maastricht, maybe.
You know, you have to start somewhere. So
exactly.
I'm already excited.
Just
Nice.
stepping stones.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, step by step.
Well, let's just start. You're from Poland,
Yeah.
and we just talked a bit before this, and you told us you came here in September.
Yes. So I moved to Maastricht in September to start my uni, and I'm currently studying psychology because my first idea was to finish the whole psychology course to then become a sports psychologist, to combine my passion with the academic knowledge that I can later use on and help other athletes. And also my story inspired me kind of to do it, but we'll get to this later, I guess.
It's so exciting.
I feel like everyone that sports on a high level has some kind of story.
Yeah.
I see it with Bram and the other guests we had. Everyone has something, you know.
Yeah. So jumping in on that, when did you start doing your sport? At what age?
So it started basically when I was, I think, 3. And I was really, really young. And I was a little girl on her little snowboard, just riding down the slopes in Poland. And it starts because I looked up to my older sister. And my parents took me for a winter break to just teach me how to ski first. And I got to my skis, and after the first day, I was like, no, I don't want to do it. I want to try the snowboarding as my sister do. And then my dad looked up for the smallest snowboarding board that was on the market, and he brought it. And then I started snowboarding.
Sick. Cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
Really cool.
That's very early as well. We had one other snowboarder as a guest in one of our first episodes, and he told us that he was during his high school period or something. And then that's when he started. But you were even younger, you know, as a little girl. So that's crazy. Because now you're 20, right?
Yes. I turned 20 in March, but it was a opportunity that I had. It was crazy because, Poland is not very famous for snowboarding or skiing because we barely have mountains.
Yeah.
we do, but they are not that big, I would say. But it was unique experience and unique opportunity. I think that my parents just were able to take me and to teach me how to ski or snowboard, and they also let me choose. So that was also important. And basically it started as a hobby, as a winter break hobby.
Cool.
Do you remember anything of the first feeling you got being on a snowboard?
That's a tough question because I was really young, but I remember I have those photos when I was first time on the board, and I remember that I had this coach, and I was the only one child on the slope with the snowboard on because it was also really it wasn't famous at that time to snowboard because I think that the first boards were made in 90s or late 80s or 90s. And then I was I remember my mom told me that adults passing by me, they were like, oh my God, this little girl on a snowboard, who is that? And they were in shock because they didn't they haven't seen before a child on a snowboard, you know.
Yeah.
Most time everybody skis. I learned to ski when I was 4 as well.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's actually the first thing most time your parents put you on, like, okay, 2 skis, and then you go, and then maybe later on you like start to like try out, like, oh, we can try a snowboard.
Yeah. So I remember the joy.
Yeah.
I remember the joy that every time that we went for a winter break, I just like enjoyed spending time on the slopes, just riding around. And then when I got a little bit older, I just got interested by those like top athletes, like top snowboarders, and I started watching them, and I came across slopestyle and bigger, and that was the moment that I was like, Dad, I want to try it. Yes. And then my dad, he was like, okay, let's try it. So we went for a to the slope, and my dad was asking for a coach like in a slope style or bigger, so like the snow park and tricks. And we found one, and I think I was 7 when I had my first like slope style kind of lesson. Yeah, so that was exciting.
That's really cool. It's always so scary. Like, if you have like the fun part of like all those tricks and all, I'm like, I see people doing it. I'm like, oh my God, it scares me.
Yeah.
And then when I do it, I just do it because I almost like every year we went skiing with my brother and like friends, and they always do it. Obviously, they're boys, and they're like, oh, look at me, we can do it. And they just do it without being scared. And I'm like, oh, my ego cannot handle it. I'm really just not doing it. And then I try, and I'm so scared. And most of the time, I just fall. But
I think
so much respect for it.
It is. And I also have like so much respect to the sport. Till this day, because I think that it teaches you a lot. Like, you fall plenty of times before you actually land a trick, and this is such a beautiful lesson. But I will get to that also later. But I think that snowboarding gave me joy and gave me just like this fun, and also I didn't have this fear, you know, like this fear was there, but I was always able to overcome it, and it was the most like interesting and the best part for me in the sport.
I think kids in general have like, at least what I remember for myself is like, when you're younger you don't feel as much fear as now, because like when I'm older now, it's like, oh, my brain starts to overthink a lot. But when you're a kid, it's like, oh, I want to try this, so then you try it instead of like thinking, should I try this? And like, so it's funny. Interesting.
Yeah, let's not get into my skiing experience. I just can't even stand up straight. So let's just skip over that part. I was all just sledding down the hill while my parents skied. So
just like straight.
Maybe you can give him a lesson sometime.
maybe. You're welcome. If you want, we can do it.
Like, my girlfriend's always asking me, we should try. I'm like, yeah, sure, but I just know I'm just gonna fall down 100 times, which I don't mind. But oh man, I just can't even keep my balance.
Yeah.
It's the worst.
It's fun though.
Yeah, I know that they even have it for Paralympic athletes as well. Like, they have these little things that you can sit in. I tried it once, but for me it was mostly just like trying to not get my fear of heights to take over as much, you know, because it's so steep. And
this is crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know how Paralympics do it.
Yeah,
because like you basically sit and you have like two skis and with like in your hands, and you basically have to navigate with those sticks. And I'm like, what?
Yeah,
like,
they do crazy things. Yeah, very much respect for them.
I've never seen that.
Yeah, it's really
you have
cool.
to check it out. It's crazy.
It sounds scary.
Yeah, it definitely is. Like, I was doing it once, but then luckily I had a person standing behind me on a snowboard who was like controlling the monoski.
Oh yeah.
So I was just basically sitting and
that one. I've seen it on the slopes many times actually. Yeah. How do you even stop?
I think
because we do the pizza.
Yeah, I think they do like at least what I saw a friend of mine do is like he slides down a bit, so like he turns diagonal and then pushes off. So it's like basically braking with the resistance, I guess. But it's very interesting.
I've seen them doing like jumps.
Yeah,
and they do like flips and whatever. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
It's so cool.
Yeah.
You should try it.
Yeah, I think I'm happy sitting
I
in
like
a
to
boat.
see that actually.
Yeah, you like to see that. Yeah, definitely. And then me coming down with like bruises and
Yeah, just let me stand safe by my camera and all is
oh
fine.
yeah. then
Trail.
we can send it into Dumpert, you know, like to get some viral videos.
Epic fails compilation.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like fail of the day,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, yeah, that would be a good idea. All right. So, but then now a bit back to now. Now you're studying in Maastricht and living here as well, training for a triathlon. Like, how do you manage it all? What does your day-to-day look like?
Oh, that's funny because I started with triathlon like more professionally just couple weeks ago because I got a coaching from Poland. So I actually have like a coach now, which is like creating the plans for me, and we work online. So I feel much more secured because I started with like ChatGPT trainings. I'm not even kidding.
Too bad.
Yeah, but it's not too bad, but if you have like at least a little bit of experience, you know, because then you have to like balance whether you are not overtraining yourself or whether you are staying in this balance with also like the rest periods that you obviously need. But in triathlon, it's like you barely get rest periods. Like I got one rest day, and like it's okay for me because I love it. I love to train, but it can be tough, you know.
Yeah.
And now I manage, like I have to master my skills of time management. So, for example, today I knew that we have like a session in the around like 1.
Yeah.
So in the morning before my lecture at 9, I went for a swimming pool sesh. So I woke up at 6. I went there and swam from 7 till 8 and then got to the lecture. So yeah, it's like basically my plan is like stuck up
Yeah. I feel that.
to the fullest.
Yeah.
And I also have work. So I have to balance it also because I work as a Pilates instructor. So in the
That's
evening,
so cool,
mostly
yeah.
I have like a Pilates class. So I know that also evenings are out for me. So I have to do my training before.
Yeah. And sleep.
Sleep, yeah.
What sleep?
Sometimes.
Let's say I'm working on it, okay?
Optional.
Yeah. No. Like I really try to prioritize my sleep, but it's like sometimes it's hard to handle. When you additionally do social media, it's even harder.
Yeah, I feel
Yeah.
that. Like I have a lot of respect for that as well, because like I see that you're putting in a lot of work with like making the videos and things like that. And I know that especially when you're training, it's always hard to like even film yourself. Cause
Yeah.
like, I was talking about this the other day in the gym, that I was like with this friend of mine, I was to her like, hey, can we not schedule a certain day that we're gonna film together, so that when we train, like I don't have to focus on the training, but more like on the videos, you know, because I can't really do both. Multitasking and
Yeah.
training properly and then filming is a lot, you know.
It is.
Yeah.
It is a lot, and I can confirm that based on experience.
Yeah. And so, but it's paying off though, all right? You're like making connections. You're getting more into like the modeling world. Like, how has that been?
Yes. So basically, let's maybe start from the beginning. That like when I moved to Maastricht, right before I moved here, I bought my first racing bike, and I already had in my mind that I would like to try triathlon, but I was like, no, like just rest. Let yourself set up in the new city with the new life, with the new uni, because I've never also had my education in English. So it was also like a 180 for me, because I switched from Polish education to English education. And I also had to like convert my language to speak every day in English, not in Polish. So it was a challenge. And now when I look back to it, I realized that it was kind of a stressful moment. So I did not have like this much time to take care of actually proper training. But I started by joining to those like sports club that we have here in Maastricht. I love my AFN people.
You're doing AFN?
Yes.
I have a couple of like friends are in AFN as well.
Yeah.
Yes.
Club.
And I love this community, and I remember it was like the second week here in Maastricht for me, and I looked it up in the like on the Instagram, I think, and they organized the Sunday runs, and I went for the Sunday run. I was scared as hell, people. Like I was running, but I was not running good. Okay, I was like, okay, I'm gonna do 10, but I'm gonna do 10 like 6:30 per kilometer, because like I want to take it slow, and I did it a little bit faster because I chose another group, so I did it like 5:45, and they started talking to me, and it was my end. I was like, what, bro? Like, you are able to talk for an hour while you're running, and you're just chit-chatting like randomly. And then I kept going to the AFN, and it actually really, really helped me with running, like, you know, talking to people. And that's why, like, in one of my videos, when I recommend people how to start, like, to run, I said that start talking while running, or start like singing your favorite song while running, because it actually it actually helps you with like regulating the breath and actually keeping your heart rate a little bit lower, because you have to like actually talk, and you have to manage your pace to actually fit your like conversational pace. So it's like a good exercise, and it helped me very, very much, and I really increased my speed by doing so. Also, I did additional training like intervals or something, but it was definitely something that helped me. And also they do cycling, so I went for a cycle with them, and they told me that it's gonna be an easy pace, and I was struggling so much, but I did it. And the one friend helped me. So it started like with people here, and it also gave me like a really nice background, because I didn't feel alone here in the city, because I already knew a lot of people coming from the running club or cycling club, which are like visible on the street for me. And I was like, oh, I recognize this person, and I recognize this person. And I was like, okay, I'm not feeling that alone in this new city with like new people around me. So it was also the thing that really helped me into like smoothly getting into this new kind of like life and chapter. So and then I just like had more time to train, so I started combining all of 3 disciplines, and I just started training for triathlon by myself. But then I was like, no, I have to have someone who would actually structure my training and take care of me. And that's why I decided to just like take some help from coaches from Poland.
Nice.
It's really good to, in those moments, ask for help. Because sometimes managing yourself as well, just like creating the times when you need to go running, when you need to go cycling, swimming. It's intense, and having a little bit of stress relief.
Yeah, definitely.
Helps.
That's definitely,
because
yeah.
you don't have so much time, and just like sometimes you just need to ask for help because people are glad to help you, and it's like it shows in performance as well.
Yeah, but I think they take off a bit of the like the fact, you know, you can tell people, you can give other people great advice maybe, but following your own advice is always harder. So like if you have to push yourself to do something hard, it's always easier to have like a strange person saying it, because then it's like, oh, I have to do this because this person told me to, and then it's like an extra push almost, you know. So I think that's why coaching is like so beneficial.
Yeah, and I think that you're also like, when you are a mature athlete, you actually realize that you need help. You need guidance. You can be the master for yourself, at least like at the beginning. Then after like huge career or whatever, like 10 years of training, you can coach yourself. But at first you need guidance, and you need somebody who will be your mentor, and actually who will, I don't know, like recommend you some things to not get burned out too quickly, or to just like follow the structured plan, which will lead you to actual progress and really good achievements.
Yeah.
Also, I think taking rest is really hard for people
Oh yeah.
when they're like working out and doing different kind of sports.
Yeah, but also if you're high achiever, you know, like not
Yeah.
even in sports specifically, but also like work or other relationships. Like if you're a person that wants to excel at something, then it's always hard to not get burned out. And
Yeah,
then,
exactly.
And if you get burned out, then take the rest you need, you know?
Yeah, and it's sometimes really hard to decide that for yourself, and having somebody next to you who like sees how you're doing, like, okay, you should take rest now. And also like plan in you like planning your sport, like your workout moments, also plan in the rest moments, because that's really important. And hearing that from somebody else and seeing it on a planning, you're more keen to like even like actually take the rest you
Yeah.
need.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I think rest days are kind of hard days
Yeah.
for athletes, you know, like you have to just stop yourself. You have to just stop yourself, give yourself a minute, give yourself a rest, a good sleep and good food. And yeah, just like, you know, chill for a day.
Yeah.
Because like I train a lot now, but the first thing that my coach said, it was like, yeah, when do you want the rest day? And I was like, I don't know.
I don't want it.
Yeah, and I was like, and she was like, okay, maybe let's do it on Monday. Then it's like a start for a new week. You will manage your uni and stuff, and then during the whole week you will just train as you can, as you prefer. And I was like, okay, let's try it out. And actually, Mondays work for me.
Nice.
Yeah.
How does it look for you, a rest day?
It depends. For now, it's mostly doing the uni stuff that I didn't do like when I was having a training or like longer training or whatever, and just doing some things to even have them prepared in advance, you know? So when I know that some assignments are due to the next week, I already tend to do them on Monday on my rest day to get them done before, and then I have like free mind and I can relax. Also, sometimes I go to sauna, which is really nice, because after my like work, I finish class at like around 9 or 8, it depends, and then I have like a sauna there, so I just go into the sauna and take my like cold shower and sauna.
Oh,
it's really good.
The best thing ever.
And also the one thing I really like to do on my rest day is like laying on this mat with like a spikes, you know, for your back.
I know.
It's so good.
It's really
oh
good.
my God. I always fell asleep on that. My
That's
mom
so
calls me
good.
crazy for that because it is painful at the beginning.
Yeah, the beginning
then-
is painful, but then afterwards it's so good for you.
It's insanely
need
good.
that.
Yes. Yes, definitely.
No.
Yes. So basically my rest days are focused more on like studying and just like doing the things that I really like to do. So for example, I don't know, meeting my friends or reading a book or just like staying at home, cooking something nice. Yeah, just like chill.
Yeah. Because I think it's also hard to like manage everything at the same time, also while being a student and while working as well. And then you need to like meal prep and study and take rest and work and prepare
Be
for
social.
training and be social and have friends. And
Definitely.
It's like a bunch of things. Like the fact that, and I don't know if you have any, like, luckily you said you made a lot of friends here already, so that's good. But like, I definitely experienced some, like when I started focusing more on my trainings, I started like experiencing some isolation, you know, like not seeing friends as much anymore. Or when you see them, it's like, you're never hanging out with us anymore and you're always doing different things. And then it's like, oh, okay, yeah, I know, but I need to focus on this, you know, you need to prioritize because, and I think on the other side, like good friends like Mike here, he understands that I have my focus points, you know, and he's like, okay, fine, I'll see you when I see you. So it's all good. But then you have other people that need your attention a bit more. And then, yeah, obviously it's difficult. Yeah.
Yeah, I have to tell you that I had some friendships that were like when I was younger, much younger, that were like kind of limiting me because there were always like, oh, you don't have time, oh, you have the training. And I was like, yes, Yes, that's my life and that's what I want to do. And I was feeling guilty for it. And it was not normal because you don't have to feel guilty for doing your thing. And now luckily I am surrounded with people who understand it. And I also surround myself with like people who do similar things. Yeah. So I think this is the best solution because then you get the understanding, you get your time, you can keep up on the connections with your friends and keep them live, even though you don't see your friend every day. Yeah. But it's like, it's a sacrifice which comes along with the decision that you want to become at least at some level professional, you know? Yeah. And you have to be like aware because it's like a part of your career and it's not gonna go away. No. Yeah.
So, jumping in on that, like, you obviously had a whole journey with like first the professional snowboarding and then your accident happening and like now doing the triathlons and all this other stuff. What are some of your like dreams that you right now have? What is something you really want to achieve?
I would say the first one, which is actually in like 10 weeks, my first triathlon. So I just want to do it. Yeah. Basically, because I have no experience in open water yet. I'm going to start training for it soon because it's getting sunny and warm and nice. So my first like goal for now is to actually compete and do well on my first triathlon, because then if I do well, if I manage to keep the times that I kind of like want to achieve and I will continue with that and I will maybe participate in another one by the end of summer break. And like one thing that I really wanted to do this year, it was a full marathon. So I probably am gonna do it in Warsaw, so Warsaw Marathon. And maybe with my dad, but I have to convince him because we made a kind of a deal that when I started running, that every year when like we meet somewhere and we choose one run that we want to participate in. So we started with 5K, then 10K. Last year we did a half marathon, so I'm now like,
you're like, the next one is a full one.
Yes. Next one is a full one, but I don't know if he will, if he would like to do it with me. But I will definitely do it.
Yeah, that's like a really big dream and really cool if you can do that. I have so much respect for those people who do it.
Yeah, and maybe later, but I'm thinking about it like next year because I would really like to prepare for it well and be ready like a half of an Ironman. So
Ooh, yeah.
That's
cool.
That's a tough challenge.
Yeah, but that's next year. That's the
you stay over a year.
You get like there for sure. If you train well, everybody can do it if you like put your mind to it.
Yeah, exactly. I just want to continue with like training for triathlon because I found like super like extreme joy in it. And I'm also a person who is like getting easily bored with one discipline. Yeah. So I think combining 3 of those is like a perfect solution for me because I'm never bored with training because I'm changing every time. Like every day I have another discipline. So it's like entertaining.
Yeah. Do you feel like sometimes you get like lost in the trainings?
I think I used to feel lost, kind of, when I was training by myself. And when I was training without the coach, and sometimes I was like, okay, I did like a whole week of training and I don't want to do the rest day, so what should I do on the rest day? But it was a mess. It was a big mess, and I felt like lost because I didn't know if I'm doing it right, if my overload is not too big, and like it was hard to balance it also with like starting life here. So I would say like September, October, it was pretty tough because I didn't know how to balance the training life with my new life here. So I can say that back then I was feeling a bit lost, but then when I figure out my routine and like kind of my life here, I got better. And now when I have a coach, it's totally fine. Yeah.
Like it really takes time to like figure out and finding balance in all of the rest of your life as well.
Yes.
And sometimes when you like focus too hard on one thing, like the trainings, it can affect like other things in life for sure. But then it's sometimes just difficult to get back and find the balance and make time for a bit for everything.
Yeah, but I think that's like a metaphor for a lot of things, because even like, for instance, we started our own businesses after our studies, and then like you have to figure out what you want to do and like who you are as a person, like who do you want to work with, and keeping balance of also like your social life and everything. So I think not even like athletes alone can learn from this, but even normal people. Maybe it would be good if we get like a life coach, like in general, you know, like you get in contact.
Everybody can benefit from it.
You get in contact with someone that you like admire, maybe a mentor or something, and be like, hey, I want to learn what you do. I want to do this. And then you already have like a bit of a blueprint of like to follow or something. But
Yeah,
like, I mean, blueprints are hard.
Yeah.
I think it's mostly mindset thing in everything you do. Like the sacrifice of friendship and all the things that come with it, I experienced too. Like, I'm not an athlete, obviously, but like building a business and just setting my mind to that and building something mostly alone so far is sometimes difficult too. A whole lot of schedules, always sometimes not able to stop your mind running things. You're always like, okay, what do I have to do tomorrow? Can I do something tonight? Always just running, thinking about the next thing. What do I need to do to have a better month next month?
Yeah,
it's always going on. Like, and then it's sometimes for me also hard just to sit on the couch and just sit back and do nothing. It's like, I need to do something. I need to
feel guilty of not doing it.
I need to do something with my life. I need to progress in some kind of way.
Yeah, and I think that's like a typical thing that like if you, at least if I look at my social media feed, is all these videos from like people that are in their 20s being like, oh, I have to do this, but I have to do that, and then
been there, done that.
Yes.
and then I see all these videos, and then it's like, oh, and then you get those really famous influencers that are like, they seem to have the perfect life and everything figured out, but then it's like they don't, because they're still people and human, and like everyone has their shit. And I think it's good to, like, what you're doing is nice because you're being real, like you're showing yourself on social media, and of course that's like you have highlights, but you also show that it's not always easy. And I think that's nice, because then you'll create like a proper like a community of people that are actually like normal, you know.
Yeah, also it's like good to not spread around this kind of delusional version of yourself, because then like you ask yourself who you are and you actually don't know, because you live in this delusion. And I think that's staying real is like the most important part. And also like to the thing that we were talking about previously, like being alone kind of in this journey, like there is a saying in Poland that all like the most dangerous eagles are hunting alone. So it's kind of a true, because I think that people who really, really achieve the top of the top, they are on their own at the most of the times. But on the other hand, we cannot forget that we are people and we are animals that's supposed to live in some kind of a group. So even though you like feel alone, you have to at some point have at least one or two people that you can just like talk to and just spend some time, like even doing nothing, you know, nothing productive.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Everybody longs to like human connection. It's so important.
Yeah.
Like how do you like in with so many things going on and like being so ambitious and stuff, like how do you manage let's say like even relationships and stuff? Like if you would meet someone now, like a guy you wanted to date or something, would that be possible, or like would you
check my schedule?
Let me check my schedule.
Maybe next year.
Yeah, like, exactly. Like being like, oh yeah, I'm so busy. I have my Ironmans then, and like every weekend. Like that's something I recognize for myself, because most of my days are filled with either training, working, or eating, sleeping, all the basic stuff. And it's like, when do I find the time to add someone to my life? Because you obviously, like, you're human, so you want that connection. If I mean, like, speaking for myself,
Yeah, it's true. But you want this connection only if this connection is bringing you up, not bringing you down.
Yeah.
If you surround yourself with the partner that is bringing you down, it's no, you just don't want to do it, because it's not like good for both of you, because like it's going to end with like a conflict or a lot of stress that we don't need. So I would say that I'm not like particularly looking for something, I'm just like more, if I met somebody who is like on the same vibe and has like similar hobbies and has like similar way of living or just like values in life, because I do not want like a person, or I do not require from this person to be a triathlon triathlon crazy person or like a top elite athlete. No, I just want a person who will be my best friend. So I'm just like staying like open to any kind of relationships, and I just want to meet people, and I just want to have this opportunity to actually choose the right person for me. So I'm just staying open and just waiting for something, maybe. Because I think it's also like really good to have somebody on your side which is like really supportive, which can help you with a lot of things, because I think this is very important, and especially when you live, for example, in a foreign country and you are not with your family or something. But you have friends, you have every other person which surrounds you, and at some point is close to you. So you have to like, don't force it, but also do not close yourself up for those relationships. Yeah,
because I think like sometimes I see these friends of mine that are also like trying to get at a high level in sports, and they're like really like, no, I'm not letting it in. And I'm like, oh, but that's such a shame too, because I'm like, I get your point, and I'm on the same wavelength. I think it needs to fit your life, and they need to fit your life. But I would say, like you said, like stay open for like the possibility of like just running into someone and being like, oh, okay, this works,
And also, if you want to, you make time for them.
Yeah.
You make them a priority, and also you don't need to forget about yourself. And it's not that person makes you feel like you need to like prioritize that person and not do anything for yourself anymore.
Yeah.
But when the person has like the same interest, like the person can come on a training with you.
Yeah, exactly.
He or she can be there.
Yeah.
And the other way around as well. And you make sure it works if you want to. You find a way, however, if you have time, yes or no, but you find a way, both of you.
Yeah.
And you just see when it comes, and if that person is your best friend, then you're just really lucky, and it's like a really good connection to have with a person.
Yeah,
there's
this one couple on Instagram, and it's actually I thought it was so cool. Like they're called, I think, the Woodhalls or something.
Oh yeah,
and the wife is a gold medalist at the Olympics in Paris.
Oh, true.
And the guy,
I love her.
She's so cool, and like the guy is also like a Paralympic gold medalist.
Yeah.
And like they train together, they travel together to the places, but they also like, she's really like doing really cool things with like representing the fact that Paralympic athletes are just as much an athlete as a Olympic one. And like they're supportive so much of each other. Like he was next to the court supporting her, and same for her. She was standing there when he won his gold medal. So, and I think that's so cool of like a example of like how it can fit together if you both have like the same energy and the vibe,
I think the key here is like to like fit, because we don't want to or we do not seek for people who will fit into the schedule, but we more like seek for people who will be able to work with us to create a schedule which is like available for both of us. So either I go for a compromise or this other person go for a compromise, and it has to be like both ways, because obviously you will not ever find a person who will just like,
Be
okay,
perfect.
I have time on Saturday at 12 till 1, and that's it. Okay, if you don't have time, just like. No,
Well.
See each other next week.
yeah, like see you next month. No, it doesn't work that way. You have to find just a person who would like to work with you on creating like a common schedule which will fit you best.
Yeah, I agree.
Both of
I
you.
agree. Yeah.
Yeah. And also a bit back to your snowboarding experience, because Bram already said that you had like experienced an accident.
Yeah.
How did it like, because you started when you were 3, when did you kind of like start training professionally and like getting to that point?
You know, it was like a story that was written by itself, I would say, because I just started training like on kind of more serious camps, but they were just still camps during the winter break in Poland. So I just started going for the camps after I took my first lessons in Poland, because I was like, yeah, I want to do something with it. And my dad found it for me. So he was like, okay, go to this camp, check it out. And I used to go there, like I would say 3 years in a row. And then I started also training like outside of the season, kind of, and I did it on the trampolines in Warsaw. So we just had like this area with trampolines, with like kind of a area to acrobatics and like sport gymnastics things. And I just started training there, and they also built there like a, I would say, the whole year kicker. It's like a jump for a board, and we were like riding on the boards with like wheels from skateboards, but they were like attached like snowboards. It was a weird construction, but it was working, so we trained there. And I remember I was on my training session like on my own, because I used to go there once with the coach and once without. And then this guy like noticed that I am jumping, and he approached me and he was like, hey, are you like training or something? Or are you in a club? Or are you participating in some competitions? And I was like, no, I'm just doing it for fun. And I was, you know, like doing backflips and just like spinning myself. And he was like, yeah, because I see that you have some kind of potential. Do you want to join to our club? We are the professional snowboarding club with snowboarding trips, training and everything. And I was like, yeah, thank you. And I basically joined the first camp with this club, with this coach that I met during my training session. His name is Michał Ligocki. And they just like noticed that I have this like a little range of, I would say I had like a good tolerance for fear. Maybe let's keep it that way, because I went for the first camp with them, and I was already like trying flips on snow, and they were like, "Oh, bro, like nobody is doing that when they are going with us for the first time." And he was like, "Okay, I see the potential. Like, let's put you onto the competition this year." And I was like, "What? Like, bro, like I just started. Okay, I do not have like training, I'm not prepared." And they put me, and I won second place in general category in Polish championships, and second place on the Youth Olympics in Poland.
Crazy.
And I was like, okay, maybe we are
there's something.
getting somewhere. There is something. And then I just started doing it more like kind of professionally. So I just started joining more trips, more trainings. I had also a little bit of a break because I have my finals. So then I came back to it. And actually, it also links with the time that I was not doing well, like mentally. I would say in 2020, I had like a really, would say, hard mental time from, I would say, September to December of 2020. And it was also linked to the previous things in my life that happened, and I didn't go through them with any kind of like specialist or something. And it all like accumulated in this one period and just hit me hard. And my self-esteem was really, really low. And yeah, I was doing not good things to myself. And I would say my parents were like, okay, you have to get some rest or get out of the city because you cannot be stuck here.
Yeah.
And they were like, go for a snowboarding trip. Go to Switzerland for 2 weeks. And they sent me there. And it was the best decision of my life because in Switzerland, when I was snowboarding, I realized that I still can do those things, even though I had a little break. And I did a lot of progress on this trip because I was 2 weeks there and I was riding every day. And I was like, okay, I learned new tricks. My self-esteem started to like boost a little bit because I noticed that I still have the skill. And then my coaches were like, okay, let's prepare you better. And I also took part in another competitions and I spent almost a whole month in the mountains when there were like online schooling because of COVID. And I was really, really into it. And I would say that I loved it so much because it brought me out of this like dark hole and dark point in my life, and it gave me like a boost of self-esteem that I needed back then. And after this, I started competing. So yeah, I did the best, I would say, snowboarding season. It was 2021 to 2022, and I won Polish championships, and also I won all of like 2 Polish Cups in 4 categories because I start in like slopestyle and bigger, and there were 2 editions and I won all of them and I won the general category and I was super excited. Yeah. And then I also received a proposition from the snowboarding brand to like cooperate with them and to join their team. And I was the only girl in like the Barton snowboarding team. Barton is this company. And in Poland, yeah. And I was extremely excited because with it opened basically a bright like door for me for the future in snowboarding, that I'm gonna train, I'm gonna sacrifice really for this sport, because like I also did my first photo shoot with the brand. So we were just spending the whole days on the snow park shooting for the brand with like riders and other team members. And it was super nice. And I remember being so excited about it. And then my final like part of the season had to supposed to be Olympic Games for juniors in Finland. But yeah, I got injured right before. Yeah, because I went to Austria for my training sessions on the big jumps, because in Poland we had like jumps, but they were not that big as they would be in the competition. So I decided to go to Austria. And I was training there for a whole week. It was all good. And on the last day, I have this rule, you know, guys. I have this rule that on the last day, we are not doing anything crazy. And I broke this rule and I got injured, you know. So, yeah, it was my lesson of, being like... It was a big lesson of humility and being humble to the sport. Yeah. So basically injury happened before my most important kind of a competition.
Yeah. It must be devastating as well.
Yeah, it was hard. I can tell you guys that it was hard. The things that I remember from this period was like pain, crying, and just like feeling worthless and feeling like burned out and pointless. And I was like, what the hell just happened? And yeah, I was laying down. I got the surgery. I had like my doctor said, he was like, girl, you just like broke everything you could. And I was like, what? And he was like, you were 2 millimeters from ripping the meniscus to the point that it would be not fixable again. And you could never do sport like at that point if the meniscus would be torn to the fullest. And I was like, what? And yeah, they did like their best and they did the surgery and they fixed everything, but I was really, really lucky to not break it like to the point that it was unfixable. Yeah, it was tough later. I also got the rehabilitation team, which was not good at first. So they just like, they did some exercises with me that didn't work. And then I changed the team and they were like I think it was after 2 or 3 months after the surgery, I supposed to like bend my knee 90 degrees, no worries, like start to do first weighted exercises. And I couldn't bend my knee even like, I would say 30 degrees. It was like stiff,
Yeah.
And they were like, oh my God, like this is bad. This is bad. But they did a incredible job by massages, by putting needles in my knee back, and all of the exercises, bending my knee, oh my God, guys, I never wish this type of pain to anybody. Like bending your knee after the surgery is the worst pain I experienced.
I feel that.
And it's like breaking a stick, but your stick is not going to break. Yeah. So it's really painful.
Yeah.
But I was surrounded by also like very, very good people, my good friends that was really like bringing me hope. And I was kind of delusional because I was just like, I remember doing those voiceovers to my friends, like voice messages. And I was like, yeah, no worries. I will be back in 6 months. Yeah, see you on the slope in September. No. See you on the slope in 1 year if it will be good. So, yeah, but basically it was the thought that kind of was keeping me alive, that I will be back. But then I realized that I can probably not be back, actually.
How was that moment when you realized you couldn't do it anymore?
Like, basically, I can do it, but physically, I can do it. I can snowboard, and I used to snowboard. And after the surgery and after the rehabilitation and everything, but I'm not mentally able to do it again, because like the fear of getting into the same injury once again is immense and is huge. And also the fact that the doctor says that it's like 70 or 80% more likely to get into the same thing after getting it for the first time. And I was like, no, I'm not gonna risk it, because I just spent like 9 months on the most painful rehabilitation process of my life, and I'm not gonna go through it again. So it was hard, and I remember feeling like a blank page, kind of, because like this injury erased basically my whole personality, which was based on sports. So I felt like I'm not worth it. And I felt like I do not have anything to like be unique in with. And also I didn't have a story, and I felt like I'm just like this random person which is not outstanding at any point. And I miss that feeling because I got used to it because of the achievements that I had in sports, because of the sports that I was doing, because it was unusual to do snowboarding while living in a city which is in center of Poland, because I live in Warsaw, so I had to travel every time about like at least 7 hours. So it was a really tough time, I would say. I also was cooperating with my sport psychologist for the first time. And it was also a moment when I realized that I want to do it in the future. And I used this time at home while I was recovering from the injury to kind of improve in my like academic career kind of, or path, and just to make it to make it happen, to really be able to go abroad for studying and to really have something additional besides sports. Because, but basically I was starting with the point when I was like a blank piece of paper, but I heard it somewhere and it stuck. It just stayed with me, stuck in my head, that if you don't like the story that you are living, you are the only person capable of rewriting this story. So freaking take the courage and do it. And I just did it. Yeah. So basically, it was a huge lesson for me. But I believe that everything happens for a reason. And because of the injury, I had the time to improve my like school grades and everything, and just get interested in applying for abroad universities. And I was like, okay, I will be back. But now I have to take care of other things. But sports will come because I'm working on it. And I was really, really putting a lot of attention to my rehabilitation. And I just kind of recovered, and I am super grateful right now that I've been through it, because it taught me the most important lesson of my life.
I think it shapes you in a way.
Oh, definitely.
How do you look back on that whole experience now?
I think, as I said before, it was the most important lesson. But I think this is also some kind of a part of my life, or a period in my life, that showed me that actually no freaking thing is going to break you if you won't allow for it. So if you are really like motivated to actually stand back on your legs again, on your feet. Actually, I did it like in metaphor and like in a physical time. Yeah, because I couldn't walk. And stand back up again. If you have the motivation, you can do it, and you can actually turn it to something positive. And I think that because of that, I have a story to talk about in social media, for example. And when I started sharing my story, a lot of people reached out to me, and that they were like, oh, thank you for sharing that, because nobody is talking about getting injured as like an athlete, which is on the beginning on the verge of their professional career. And there were multiple people that were saying that, like nobody talks about it, but we also had our achievements, we also had our stories, and we are done with it because we can't do it anymore, either physically or mentally. We are not capable of doing it anymore. So I think it gave me a story that I can share, and I can also spread this like around other people and among other people. And I also think that it shaped me in ways that really gave me the power to do things and overcome every fear in my life that I have. And that's why I also got into triathlon, because I was like, why not? Like I can do it. Like I've been through freaking pain multiple times in my life. So like training will not make me as painful as the recovery period, you know?
And I think you also learn from that whole experience is that your achievements, they don't make your identity. They don't make your personality.
Yes.
It doesn't mean without the achievements, you're nothing. That's so not true. And I think a lot of people in sports, even myself, not really so focused on sports, but just in general, you think your achievements make you as a person and make you worth it, but that's so not true.
Yes.
And I think that's also like a big lesson you can like learn from it, from that whole experience. It's so intense, but it's impressive that you got through it, and like with such a good mentality. And I also see when you're talking about your whole snowboarding story, you just light up. You just like get so energized from it. It's so beautiful that you still have the capability of doing that even after being injured, and like ending it on like a not so positive note, I would say, but you still have the energy from it, and it's really beautiful to see as well.
Would you consider one day maybe coaching? Like if you could the opportunity to coach other people?
Can you coach him how to walk again?
Maybe let's do that. Let's try that. Maybe it helps. Yeah, no, I mean like coaching and snowboarding, but yeah, walking is also in second best, I guess.
I did my like this. There are a couple steps that you have to take before like getting into like becoming the snowboarding coach. Personally, I wouldn't like to become a coach like for snowboarding. I think it's not my path now.
Yeah.
And you have to do several steps to actually get the license. I have like the free first ones, but I don't have still the most important one, the instructor one and the coach one. So I would have to do it first. But now I live a totally different life. I switched to a different discipline. I really want to focus on triathlon now. And I'm also working here, and I also figured out kind of my life without snowboarding anymore. So I don't know. I feel like I closed this chapter and I want to keep it closed.
You're still so young, so a lot of things to figure out for yourself in the coming years. So
exactly. I think coaching is beautiful because I think like giving the knowledge that you have and you gain from your own experience is amazing. Is the best thing you can do. So that's why I am trying to just like kind of do it through my experience of injury and through my experience of switching my path 180. But yeah, I think that some chapters are going to stay close in my life.
And that's also okay. Do you have like anything that snowboarding gave you as a person, like formed you as a person, that you can find again in other things like training for the triathlon or maybe the modeling part?
Oh, definitely. Definitely. I think like, okay, let's start with the modeling part because this is the more like quick, I would say, section, because modeling came along with the things that I did, and now I signed with the agency from London, which is very cool.
That's insane.
And yes, and they work only with athletes, so I think this is the perfect opportunity for me. And yeah, I will see how well that goes, but I keep it as a side job more. But definitely, like snowboarding gave me this kind of feeling that I have power over my own like life and over my own decision, that I have the freedom and I have just the power to overcome the fear that sometimes arise from nowhere. And I think those were things that I've learned through various sports that I did in my life, also through snowboarding, because like the amount of time that you have to overcome your fear in snowboarding is insane. You do it basically every day. So now I perceive fear as a just like, it's not an obstacle for me that you cannot move from the way. It's just you have to find a way to go through it or go around it or go somehow over it. So it also changed my perception on trying new things and to overcoming like different challenges in my life that arise. And I think that this is similar kind of things that I found in triathlon, that endurance sports kind of like give you this opportunity to overcome your limits every time. You basically like you push yourself on the interval training. I love it. I love feeling dead on the track, on the trainer, like indoor trainer or the bike outside. And I think those are the common things that link both of those disciplines, even though they are completely different. But those are the things that are the most important also for me in like those disciplines.
Amazing. Love the story. We're slowly gonna have to wrap up though.
Yes,
for the final part of this podcast, we're gonna have some nice cookies, the best of Maastricht. Most amazing flavors there are from Keukske Maastricht. If you don't know the place, you should really go there. Always a really nice vibe in in the little store.
Yeah.
It's so cozy.
Yeah, it is.
And they're so friendly.
Charlotte, you may open them. Choose one. We have had them all,
Yes.
like too many of them.
I got the honor.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I believe we have like pistachio, white chocolate, maybe some matcha as well.
Should we do the taste test?
We always do like a rating out of 10.
Okay.
This is like ASMR what I'm doing.
Basically, we
Bring it
also
closer to the
recommend like
microphone.
doing half of them because they're like really yeah.
Wait,
heavy.
I'm going to let you choose first. I think there's a
Yeah.
Really
chocolate one at the
sweet.
bottom, but
They're like 6
I
of
think
them.
this is pistachio.
Oh my god, they are huge. Okay, but I will take this one, I think. I don't know which one is it.
It's probably white chocolate.
Okay.
Seems like it. Alright.
It
It
my god.
smells
It
so
smells-
freshly baked.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're really amazing.
It just feels so homey and cozy. I love it.
There you go.
You can choose first. I've had them all, so I don't
Yeah.
really mind.
I really want to try pistachio. Thanks.
Let's see.
Nice. Oh, those are like crumble cookies. Are they called like that?
Yeah, and they're like up a lot. Like if you eat one, you're gonna be full.
This is good.
It's good. It's good I'm going rowing after this. I can burn it off again.
I'm going running this evening.
You're gonna carry cameras?
I'm just gonna sit on the couch.
That's amazing.
The best life.
This is really good.
So out of 10,
I'll give it an 8.
an 8.
I just tasted the middle part.
It's white chocolate.
I would say 7.5 because it's so freaking sweet.
It is really sweet though.
Well, thank you both for coming. It was an
Yeah.
amazing session. I just feel like I was just sitting here, just listening, like just an hour of the story. I was like, yeah, like not really participating too much this episode, but I don't mind. I just
No.
it was amazing. Thank you for co-hosting as well.
You're welcome. I love it.
Really nice to have someone deep dive more into like the mental stuff as well. So if
Yeah.
you're into that kind of stuff, go listen to her podcast. It's amazing.
Yay.
Thank you, Weronika, for sharing your story.
Yeah.
It was really impressive, and I think you really made other people heard as well and seen and relate to your story. It's amazing. It's beautiful. So
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, guys, for making my dreams come true.
Yay!
I just did my podcast.
Bucket list thing.
Yeah, bucket list checked.
Let's go.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you everyone for watching. We'll see you guys in the next episode.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.